first thing I'm doing is prepping my eye with MAC Pro Paint Stick in Pure White. I'm using a white base today just so that the colors pop a little bit more, and I'm applying that all over my eyelid up to the eyebrow with my fingers. And the first eyeshadow I'm taking is Makeup Geek Peach Smoothie on a fluffy fluffy blending brush, and I'm just working that into my upper crease area as a transition shade. The next eyeshadow I'm taking is Makeup Geek's Cupcake, which is a little bit more pink, and I'm kind of blending it in with that Peach Smoothie shade just to get more of a pinky peach kind of transition color rather than just a straight beigey peach kind of shade. And then with a more tapered blending brush, I'm going in with Makeup Geek's Bitten, which is like a nice burgundy wine color, and I'm just softly applying a small amount of that into the outer crease and outer V area. And then taking Fig 1, which is more of a purpley shade, I am working this on the outer corner and outer V, and you can see it's starting to get that nice purpley but still kind of plummy kind of tone at the outer corner of the eye. And then I'm just blending out those colors we've put down so far with the fluffy blending brush from earlier that has nothing on it. Next, moving on to Indian Ink by MAC on the really teeny tiny blending brush. I am putting that right in the outer V, kind of over top of the other colors we've put down, and it's just kind of making a nice deeper purple shade. Next, I'm moving on to just a black eyeshadow on the same little blending brush just to kind of add a little bit more depth and dimension to the outer corner and add a little bit more drama. Next, I'm taking a combination of Peach Smoothie and Cupcake on the fluffy blending brush and just using that to blend out all those shades we've put down so far just to help soften them out a little bit more. And then moving on to the blue eyeshadow, I'm using MAC Atlantic Blue on a clean blending brush, and I am trying to apply this right next to all those purpley tones, but this color I find wasn't very pigmented and didn't want to apply very nicely, and when it did apply, it applied patchy, so I started with a blending brush and then just decided to use a paddle brush to pack it on, and then back to a blending brush just to smooth out the edges, because yeah, this blue shade did not want to cooperate very well. Next, I'm using Too Faced Glitter Glue on just a small paddle brush, and I am putting that all over that inside corner of the eye that we left blank, kind of to where it meets the blue, and then right over top I'm going in with Vanilla Pigment on the same brush and just packing it on. I really love this kind of pinky gold sheen that it gives, and with the blue and the purples I think it just looks so pretty. So here I'm just going in with the blending brush just to blend out all those edges and make sure there's no harsh lines between the colors. And then with MAC Phloof, I am using that just to highlight my brow bone. To line my eyes, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Creme Color in Jet and just a small liner brush. And I'm not doing a wing or anything too fancy, I'm just doing a basic thin line across my eyelashes just to add a little bit of definition to my eyelid and so that when we put the lashes on, it hides the lash band better. So I did apply mascara and the lashes off camera, and I'm moving on to the face products now. Right here I'm using a little bit of MAC Strobe Cream just on the high points of my face and blending that in, just so that it shows a little bit of highlight through the foundation we're going to put on. So I'm just working that in the center area, basically the T-zone of my face, because I want it just kind of in those areas and not all over the face. And then as a primer, I'm using my Benefit Porefessional, which I ran out of, and I'm really upset about that because it's my favorite primer. And I'm basically just putting this in my T-zone as well, just because that's where I have the most problems with pores and things like that. Moving on to foundation, I am using my YSL Touche Éclat foundation, and I'm just dotting it all over my face right now, and I will be blending it out with a brush, of course. And the brush I'm using is the Sigma Flat Kabuki F80. It's my favorite brush for foundation. I don't know what I was looking at there, but moving on, I'm just buffing that into my skin and making sure I do blend it down my neck a little bit as well, just so that everything is nice and seamless. Moving on to concealer, I'm using my trusty MAC Pro Longwear Concealer and this Tapered Kabuki brush from Sigma, and I'm just dotting it under my eyes for now, and I kind of like to let it sit there for a minute before I blend it in. And I'm also going to apply it to the center of my forehead, just above my nose, a little bit down the nose, on the cupid's bow and the chin, just to add a little bit of highlight to those areas as well, because this concealer is a tiny bit lighter than the foundation shades I use, so it'll add a little bit more dimension to my face and add to that highlighted effect. So once that's all applied, I go back in and blend my under eyes, blend the concealer under my eyes in, and get right up into the lash line. And then yeah, moving on, I'm just setting all of that concealer with MAC's Pro Shaping Powder in Emphasize. Just really pushing that under my eyes with a big fluffy brush from MAC. I think it's the 138. So yeah, I just use this to set my under eye concealer. I think that already makes such a huge difference. To set the rest of my face, I'm using just the MAC Pro Setting Powder in Invisible on that same brush. And I really push that into the skin rather than swiping it on the skin so that it doesn't move around the foundation and cream liquid products that are all underneath. Moving back to the eyes, I am taking Fig 1 on a tiny smudge brush, and I am pulling that across the lower lash line right into the lashes. Not quite all the way across, but really close. And I just really smudge that in there to get good color payoff. And then going with Peach Smoothie and Cupcake on a fluffy blending brush, I'm using that just to blend out that purple shade so it's not just a harsh line of purple. And it helps tie it in with the upper eyelid shadows as well. And then on my waterline, I'm just taking a white Eye Kohl, this one's from MAC, just to help open and brighten up the eyes a little bit. Typically I would do a black, but for this look I decided to do a white just to help the eyes pop even more. And then the last thing to do with the eyes is just apply a coat of mascara to the lower lashes and the eyes are done. So moving back to the face, I am using Fawn Contour Powder from Anastasia Beverly Hills on this Wayne Goss brush. And I use this just to carve out my cheekbones and add a little bit more structure to my face. I have quite a round face with like no structure, so I definitely need contouring in my life. So I'm just contouring my cheekbones here. I also contour my forehead a little bit because I do have quite a tall forehead, so I like to just give it a little bit more shape. So I like to shade in the sides of my forehead and right around my hairline basically. Yeah, just to kind of give the illusion of a slightly smaller forehead, even though I do have quite a large forehead. And then on a smaller fluffy blending brush, I just contour the sides of my nose with the same contour powder, just to help slim my nose and add some more definition back into the center of my face. And moving on to blush, I'm using MAC Blush Baby on a Makeup Geek face buffer brush, and I just pat this on top of my cheeks right above the contour powder, and this brush is like perfect for blush because it literally takes no effort. It blends it out as it goes and you just have to pat it on and it's pretty much done. So It's my favorite blush brush right now. And then I'm using Silver Dusk powder from MAC. I don't know if they still make it anymore, if it's discontinued, but I'm using it as a highlighter today with a Sigma Tapered highlighter brush, putting that on the tops of my cheekbones here and kind of blending it up near the brow bone area. And I also take some down my nose as well, center of my forehead, Cupid's bow and chin area. Normally I wouldn't do this with this shimmery kind of powder, but with this look I think it was really appropriate. And then moving on to the lips, I'm using NYX Nude Pink Lip Pencil just to outline and fill in, or wait, not fill in, I didn't fill them in, just to line my lips, and I will be filling them in with a lipstick today. And the lipstick I'm using is Cream Cup from MAC. It's just a really pretty soft pink kind of color. I love this color. I never wear this color for some reason and I don't really know why. So I'm just patting that on rather than swiping it on and then pressing my lips together just to help it blend in with the lip pencil. And then for a bit of gloss, I'm using Pink Tiara from Gerard Cosmetics just to add a little bit more pink and a little bit more shine to the lips. So that is the completed look, and here's an up-close shot of the eyes. I really like how they turned out. I like the combination of the warm purples with that cool blue. I think it looks really awesome, and it just reminded me of Barbie for some reason. I'm not really sure why. Maybe it was that blue eyeshadow. But yeah, this is the completed look. I think it'd be really fun for like a nice holiday party if you wanted something with a little bit of color. And you could obviously do a nude lip. You don't have to do a pink lip, but I felt like doing pink today, so that's what I did. But I hope you guys like it, and thank you for watching.